everyone, and welcome to IvAnReads. Hey everyone, so for today's video, I'm going to show you all of the books that I've bought in the month of September. And I pulled all of the books that I got, which is why there are a bunch of holes in my shelf, which drives me crazy. But it's led me to the conclusion that I have a serious problem. It's also led me to realize that I don't really care. So this first bunch of books that I bought from my favorite local bookstore, which is called The Tattered Cover, which has 3 different locations in the Colorado area where I live, and they're great. They have used and brand new books, and I just adore them. So let's look at those. One of the first ones I got was Extras in the Uglies series. It was a trilogy. This is like just a couple extra stories. It's after the story ends. The next book I got was Since You've Been Gone by Morgan Matson, because I've heard a ton about this novel and I really want to read it because I love contemporaries. The next book I got I've actually already read, and that was The Glass Sentence by S.E. Grove. I'll tell you more about it in my wrap up, but just know that this is one of my new favorite books of all time, and I can't wait for the second book to come out because everything about this book was brilliant. The world is amazing, the characters are lovable, like it was so good, guys. So good. And the author tweeted me, so follow me on Twitter, and like I fangirled in the middle of a store with my mom. The next book I got, I actually read back in high school, and it's called Graceling. If you haven't read it, check it out. It's a brilliant book. The world is really cool. The characters are pretty BA, and I just really liked this book, so I wanted my own copy of it. The next 2 books I got are the last 2 books in the Legend trilogy by Maria Lu. So you have Prodigy and Champion. I was okay with Legend, so I'm gonna give these a read eventually. The next couple of books I got also finish out what's out of the series, and that's Scarlet and Cress, the next 2 books in the Lunar Chronicles. I don't know how many books are going to be in the series, but I just started Scarlet today, and the first 5 chapters are really good, and Cress is probably going to be amazing as well, because y'all know that I freaking love Cinder, so I want to keep reading these aggressively. The next book I got is another really popular contemporary here on BookTube, and that is Winger by Andrew Smith. If you don't know, it's about a kid in a boarding school. I don't know, seems good. I'll read it. The next book I got I'm really excited about, and that is The Fall of the Governor Part 1 by Robert Kirkman and Jay, not even gonna try and say your last name because it's insane. Great show, and this is like the 3rd one, so I have the other 2 in my shopping cart over on Book Depository. So those will be in next month's haul. The next book I have was actually a gift from my mom. We were at The Tattered Cover and we saw these really beautiful covers or versions of The Hobbit by J.R.R. Tolkien. Those of you who don't know, this is one of my all-time favorite books. One, because the story is amazing, but the biggest reason is because it's really sentimental. My dad read this book to me when I was a kid, and it's one of the first book memories that I have, even though like my parents read to me my whole life. It's one of the first ones I remember, and it was great, even though my dad edited the ending. So the next book I got was The Tales of Beedle the Bard by J.K. Rowling. It's just a collection of children's stories from Harry Potter. If you don't know that, we can't be friends. I love Harry Potter and need all of the Harry Potter things. Next we have The Well of Ascension by Brandon Sanderson. This is the 2nd book in the Mistborn trilogy, which I still haven't started, but my mom's read the first 2 books and she loves them. And we have Hollow City by Ransom Riggs. This is the follow-up book, 2nd novel of Miss Peregrine's Peculiar Children series. I'm really excited to read it because, as you all know from my readathon update, I freaking love Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children. I thought it was brilliant, and I'm really excited because this one has a bunch of great photos in it too, and I need to know what happened to them. But I'm waiting until October because it's a very October-y story. Alright, so this is the last book that I bought in a shop, and I am so very excited to show you this book because it's one of the single most beautiful books I've ever seen in my entire life. And that is Percy Jackson's Greek Gods by Rick Riordan. I love Rick Riordan a lot, but then you have the inside covers and the beautiful illustrations throughout this book. Like, guys, these are some of the best illustrations I've ever seen. They're freaking amazing. I am so in love with this book. Like, just not only the beautiful writing, but also its beautiful looks. Because I'm shallow. But really, one more shot for the road. The next book I actually just bought today, and it was It was, because it's no longer. It is The Iron Trial by Holly Black and Cassandra Clare. I love Holly Black and I love Cassandra Clare, and I'm really excited to read this. It's a new middle grade book. Don't know too much about it. Don't want to know too much about it, but I'm pretty excited. Alright guys, so the next bunch of books I have for you are ones that I ordered off of the book depository. And if I'm being honest, I make a pretty decent sized order there about every 2 weeks because I have absolutely no self-control. Anyway, so here is the big box that I got from the book depository. That's what I got. Another petrifying thing about this next batch of books is I actually have to find places for it on my shelves, which are super full. So, speaking of Cassandra Clare, I got a bunch of Cassandra Clare books in this group, Shadowhunters and Downworlders, a Mortal Instruments reader. And this is really cool because apparently a bunch of different authors worked on it. I don't know much about this one either. I think it's just about like their relationships and stories with them, and a bunch of different authors contributed to it, like Holly Black, who I love, Rachel Kane, who wrote the Morganville Vampire series that I really love. I'm really, really excited to read it and get to dive more into the Shadowhunter world. So speaking of continuing on the Mortal Instruments series, I have book 5 and book 6, which is The City of Lost Souls and City of Heavenly Fire by Cassandra Clare. You might be asking yourself, Ivy, where's the 4th book? I don't know. It didn't order for some reason. I had it in my basket, and then I checked out, and then it was just gone, and I looked for it at Walmart, and they didn't have it, and I don't have time to go to my bookstore. So now I have to go get that one. I was kind of hoping it'd just be done. And lastly, by Cassandra Clare, I have the Shadowhunters Codex by Cassandra Clare and Joshua Lewis. And I'm really, really excited for this one because it's about both the Mortal Instruments and the Infernal Devices. I love the Infernal Devices even more than I love Mortal Instruments. And so I'm really excited to kind of get to see some of them again. But guys, this is another book that's like, oh, that dust jacket is really pretty. I really like the angel thing, but then the actual book is freaking gorgeous. I really like the cup there too, but then the illustrations inside are just freaking gorgeous. So I'm really, really excited to read this too. Again, the mythology is my favorite part of this book series, so I can't wait to get to know it better. And it is We Were Liars by E. Lockhart. Guys, this book is brilliant. New cat. This is Maggie, and she's beautiful and I love her, and she just killed my plant. Anyway, the next book I got I am really, really excited about, and it's Matilda by Ronald Dahl, or Roald Dahl. I don't know how to say his name. This was one of my favorite books as a kid. Like, I loved Matilda so much, and I really wanted my own copy, and then I found this one. It's just great. Like, the story is so good, and I loved it so much as a kid and read it so many times, and I'm so happy to have my own copy because I'm probably gonna reread it. Love it. The next book I got I'm looking forward to is called The Rosie Project, and I didn't know it was in like the uber short kind of mass market size paperback, so that's kind of disappointing because I hate mass market size because I'm like, oh, you're shorter than all the other ones. Great. Anyway, that aside, I'm really excited to read this book. It looks really interesting. The next book I bought is also one that I've read, and the pages got bent. Thank you, book depository. And it's Warm Bodies by Isaac Marion, whatever. Guys, I love this book. It's one of my favorite zombie books of all time. I think it's cute. I love the characters. Like, it's hands down my favorite zombie in the history of zombies. So the next book I got, which got ripped. Thank you again, book depository. An Abundance of Catherines by John Green. I'm trying really hard to collect all of John Green's books because I've read 2 of them and I need to read more because I adore his writing, and I'm really excited for this one in particular because it looks really interesting to me, and so will happen soon. The next group of books I bought is the Spiderwit Chronicles, and I got a box set. And I'm really excited, guys. This is another series that I absolutely adored as a child. I freaking loved it. It's how I fell in love with Holly Black. So I'm really excited to have this one. So the next book I have is Memoirs of a Teenage Amnesiac by Gabrielle Zevin. For those of you who follow Ariel Passett, you know that this is one of her favorite books, and she makes it seem so good, and I really, really enjoy her taste in novels. So I wanted to give it a shot and read it and see what all of the fuss was about. And the last book that I have today is called Grimm. And it is a collection of Grimm-inspired fairy tales. Some twists, some like their own special fairy tales. written by a bunch of fantastic authors like Ellen Hopkins, Julia Kagawa, I don't know how to say your name, girl. I'm sorry. I'm thinking about it because this one is really pretty. Like, this is beautiful. It's beautiful. So I'm really excited to read this. As most of you know, I freaking love fairy tales and fairy tale retellings, especially Grimm's. Like, I have their complete works down there, and I just, oh, so excited for this one, guys. So excited for this one. And that's it! We made it through! I'm not gonna hold all the books I bought up for you guys because it would be impossible. There were a lot. I don't even know how many there were. No. I hope you guys enjoyed my first little book haul. If you did, hit the like button and subscribe so we can do this more often. And I will see you soon, and I hope the rest of you have a wonderful life. Goodbye!